Okay, good evening and welcome to the lair. Here is our now repaired functional Peavey Classic VTX. This is a 212 SF Classic VTX. It's got a solid state front end and a tube back end, and it should put out about 65 watts into two 12-inch Scorpion speakers. It's late, I'm tired. The demo is going to be pretty rudimentary. But similar to the Encore, it has preamp, saturation, which is kind of like how thick the signal gets, and overdriving, and then a post, which is what you're feeding to the power section. Low, middle, high, and presence for tone controls. This has a phaser and a Accutronic spring reverb. Spring reverb obviously is definitely there. Let's try the phaser. Put the depth on half and put the And to me, with the phaser going like that, it sounds a lot like a Leslie. So. So anyway, it's working good. There's a little bit more cosmetic touch-up I want to do, but this unit, when it came in, it was grubby, it was dirty, it was at one point in its life probably mouse infested. It had some paint on it. The handle was chewed to death. It needed some work. Now all I need to do is try to touch up the front where there's a little bit of Tolex damage, but beyond that, we have full function. We have USA-made Peavey tubes in it. The amp is probably about 38 years old. It should be about a 79. And it works just fine, proving that what survives nuclear fallout, cockroaches, and Peavey amplifiers. This thing's been through the ringer, and with a little bit of help, it has come back and it's ready to sing, and I'll tell you, I like it a lot. I'm going to play it a little bit more. I'll probably take it out on the road with me to play a couple little shows, and if I really fall in love with it, we'll add it to the collection. Either that or we'll find somebody who will enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it now, because it's a really cool amp. It sounds nice and warm and big, and it's obviously it's a little bit thin sounding, but that's on account of the guitar. We're using single coils today, but just adjustment from here to tomorrow, lots of different tones you can get out of it. So if you want to watch the rehabilitation process, you can stick around. But yeah, she's back in business. Thanks for watching. Good evening, YouTube. This is Mr. V. I'm working on a Fender AB 165 Bassman, but that project's going to go on the shelf because we're waiting on parts. But in the meantime, we got to deal with this. What's a Peavey Classic VTX series? It's a 212 amp. It's got a solid state front end, but a vacuum tube back end. A pair of Scorpion speakers. A ton of dirt. a popped up holster, somebody put casters on this, so at least it rolls, a very, very, very mouse-chewed handle with metal that'll cut your fingers. That's great. Alright. I did check it. It does work. And then on the back we have two Scorpion speakers that appear to be in okay shape, but a mouse-chewed speaker cord. And I'm guessing what was a mouse-chewed power cord, because there's a new power cord on it, but it's not very long anymore, so I'm going to guess this thing got bit in half and somebody just threw a cable on it. There is a foot switch in here that apparently works. It's said to not be the original, which makes sense. Selector combiner reverb, because it should be, I don't know, channel and, well, whatever. We'll fix that when we have to. We're going to take it apart and clean it up. Okay, so as we're digging into it a little bit more, you can see the casters. I don't think those are original, but they're very nice quality casters, so okay. And apparently we got more dirt, some free vanilla chai lip balm, and a twisty tie and a cap off eye drops, I guess. I don't know. And there's the reverb bag down there. Like I say, everything seems to work, so that's good. But we're going to keep tearing this apart and see if there's anything dynamic. The vacuum tubes in here are USA Peavey tubes. This amp should be roughly like 79 or 80. Somebody marked 1 and 2 and then put a sticker on the base of the tube too, just so, and they don't mix them up, I guess. Alright, okay, so I got the chassis out. Things don't look so bad in here. Obviously, I did check. It does work. Functions work. So we got a bunch of the blue capacitors. These all look like they're Unicon. And we got a bunch of what's probably op amps and other such. But it all looks like it's in okay shape. It doesn't look like anything's splattered all over the board. There's a couple of driver transistors. There's sockets for our power tubes back here. Plugged up, put the board in. Should be effects loop and switches over there. Inputs are up there. Lots of double pots. We'll see, are these push-pulls? Are they? No, they're not push. Oh, that one is. This one doesn't appear to be. That one is. And that one is. And that one is. So apparently this has a lot of fancy sonic circuitry. Right out of the gate I don't see anything that particularly alarms me, although this one capacitor appears to have a dent in it. A little bit of a dent right there. It's a dent, it's not an explosion. But I wonder, that might have been like that for years and years. Okay. Everybody wants to talk to me today. Up around to the front, we got some, where this is kind of dragged probably across something, we got some damaged Tolex. We got a ton of dirt. I mean, just the dirt in here is unbelievable. The dirt on the speakers, there's Scorpions. The grill here, this is actually plastic mesh. I think it's plastic. Yeah, it's plastic mesh. That should clean up pretty well. Then one of our speakers has paint on it, and that's lovely. We'll see. At least I think that's paint. Maybe I can say I hope that's paint. Yeah, we'll see if it comes off. But the speakers appear to be both functional. You know, I got a chance to give it a brief test, but we're going to pull all of this stuff out. We're going to take all the hardware off this chassis, and we're going to take it outside, and we are going to clean it, because this is going to give anybody who touches it cooties. Okay, so upon unscrewing the extremely filthy reverb bag holster, we have a Accutronics 2-spring that bag has protected very, very well. It doesn't appear that anything's broken loose or anything in here. That seems okay. See, so that's a 4EB 2C1B. So probably a unit made to be driven with solid state, but that looks to be in good shape. And then there's the matching piece of cardboard that goes with it before it goes in the reverb tank. And then now removed from the chassis, you can actually just see the dirt level. This is a Scorpion. It just says Scorpion focused field geometry, made in USA, patent applied for, blah blah blah. There's a speaker number. Let's see if that's a date code. 707-96032. So I'm expecting this to be 1979 or 80, roughly, based on model and catalogs and things. Okay, so I took all the hardware off of the body or chassis or whatever, not the body, the cabinet. There you go. I took all the stuff off the cabinet and took it outside and washed it. So we'll take a look at this. That's our output transformer over there. I'm guessing this thing should be about 50 to 65 watts. PV running 26L6 is generally called at 65. And then pretty big power transformer considering all it's got to feed is these and solid state stuff. Okay, well, we'll put those tubes on the tester. Okay, so that tube's in the tester right now. This is I know it's a 6L6. PVSTR 3 something. The other one's kind of rubbed off too. Super 6. Super 6 is what they called 6L6s. Made in USA. Rugged. Something. It says rugged and then what? Maybe premium selection, I think. Okay. Yeah, and then up at the top here, there's an original print, 6L6GC USA, double halo in there. If that's a US tube, I wonder what it is, whether it's like a Slovenia or a GE. That looks like GE marking, kinda. But when did they stop making tubes? I don't know. Yeah, we're almost done testing this one. See how she does. I mean, I would assume they work. The amp worked fairly well. It was disgustingly dirty, and it does need some work to bring it up to a condition that you'd want to take it somewhere and show anybody. So yeah, that's good with a 10 rating. That's a strong tube. Okay. We'll test the other one and we'll look at the result when it's done. Okay, so the other tube tests out at an 8. That's close enough. They'll work. Usually even new ones are pulling 9s and 10s. And I've seen new ones even pull 6s and 7s or whatever. So these tubes are fine. Nothing wrong with them. The previous person, somebody labeled them number 1 and 2 respectively, so they went back in the right socket. So if there's probably a hum balance adjustment or something on there, so it's already set right if you took the tubes out to move it or something. Okay, so I guess we wait for the rest of the stuff to dry, but we'll bench the chassis and look around in there and see if there's anything else of interest. Okay, so I'm back in the chassis. The power cord, I want to replace that because it's old and nasty. The capacitors are old but not broken. It's not humming or anything. So following the don't fix one ain't broke kind of rule, I don't see anything else that really needs immediate attention. Check to make sure everything is snug down tight. Clean the pots out. And replace the power cord that's too short. Black one goes to the fuse, white one goes there, green one is screwed down to that lug down there. Not too exciting. Let's flip it over and look at the controls. Starting on the left we have 2 inputs, high gain or low gain, so normally you'd probably go into high gain unless you have a loud guitar. And then we have the lead gain channel, which I guess it's a 2-channel amp. You have a pull for bright, saturation, which is kind of like what that pump circuit was in the other one, in post. And then you have a normal gain channel, which as you call that, your rhythm channel, and it's got a pull for bright. So you've got a pull for bright here, and not on either of these two, but you do over here, and then low, mid, high, and a pull for thick, and a presence. For the phaser, you have depth and range, and it says pull set. Pull set. I don't know what that does. And we have reverb. Yeah, I haven't read the manual. We have a status, which is like the standby light, power, and next to standby we have either a choice of high power or low power. Next to on and off. So you have low power or high power, and then on and off. Our face graphic and paint doesn't seem to be too bad. This looks like it was a decal, and some of the decal is flaking up at the top here, but not too bad. That will mash into the Tolex. We'll scrub that and clean that up and get that nice again. Alright, so I pulled the retainer out, but I got this power cord that's in real good shape, other than a little bit of dirt, but it's the same gauge, and it's got more length because it hasn't been chopped short from where it got chewed up by mice. So we're going to do a clip and swap on this. So new power cords in. We're soldered good to ground. These cups are kind of cool. You can, you put the wire down in the cup, so that gives a really good connection. And then the other one is looped over here on the fuse holder. So power cord change, nothing too exciting. Now we just need to put the strain reliever on the other side there. We can call that part one of fixing mouse damage. There's a little bit more mouse damage I got to deal with, and then we'll try to clean a little bit more. Actually, I noticed while I'm in here, there's two of these stickers floating around. One of them was obviously taped there. The other one looks like it was just taped there, but it's like way over here, and it's under the circuit board right now, or it fell to the floor or something. I think I'll just put a little drop of glue under those, just for posterity. Okay, so that takes care of the power cord. I got the strain relief in. Strain relief. It's definitely not. It's a relief when you get that stupid thing back in. Some of those fit so tight. Okay, so I got to deal with the speaker lead because that's got mouse damage. So I'll pull that out and deal with it. So here's the speaker lead. That doesn't come apart. That's like molded on there. I know what it says. Does it say anything interesting? Switchcraft. Switchcraft stuff usually comes apart. Does that come apart? If it comes apart, we'll take it apart, but I can't tell that it comes apart. Maybe they sold that on there. And then it goes down here, and this is all chewed up. So that's no good. We can't have that grounding on something. Now technically it's only one side that's really bodged up, but there's a lot of copper missing. So that's not good. We need to replace that. And then it just goes to these. Now, this particular wire looks to me very much like black lamp cord. So I don't think it'll be hard to find a replacement that's similar. 90-degree angle jack will be easy to find. I think I have a more vintage-ish style one laying around. Okay, so here's my finished cord. It's it actually is just lamp cord, but I use the same spade terminals. Instead of just being crimped like they were, now they're crimped and soldered, and I put a little shrink wrap on there, which I think makes them look nicer. And we have that plug. So that should work for a speaker cable. And then we need to clean up the speakers. The cabinet and the Tolex has already been scrubbed and cleaned pretty good. So now we gotta do the speakers. I'm actually amazed, like here's the top part of the speaker, which looks kinda okay. And you get down here and there's like all these cooties living in here. So I'm going to try to see if we can get them out. I can't just, go spray a bunch of cleaner on a speaker cone because that isn't going to work. So I've got this brush and it's a lot softer than you would think it would be. And we're just going to try to brush as much of those cooties loose. and wipe it up. And that seems to be helping. So we'll sweep all this junk out and wipe off the frame and go do both speakers. Okay, so you saw the before and here's the after. It's a lot better. Not 100% perfect, but it actually looks better to the naked eye than it does to the camera. The camera's picking up some bright highlights, but the speaker cone is looking more black now than it does brown. We're going to brush it just a little bit more, make sure we can dislodge any more dust. And I cleaned the basket up and stuff on the back, so, you know. Okay, and this is the speaker that had the paint-like substance on it. That seems to have cleaned up pretty good. And, yeah. So, progress is happening. I haven't put anything on this Tolex, but this is the top of the amplifier. And all I did was scrub it clean. It's just cleaning. That thing was like white when we found it. Now it's much, much healthier. It's our front panel. We do have a little bit of scratchy damage down there, but we'll tidy that up a little bit if we can. A couple little nicks and things, but much, much better. Progress.